This episode is sponsored by the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in West Virginia. January entertainment includes fan favorite Humphreys McGee on the 18th. Details and tickets at HollywoodCasinoCharlestown.com. Must be 21 to enter the casino floor and attend a show. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. The Los Angeles wildfires have caused nightmarish devastation to countless lives in Southern California, not to mention upending Hollywood's entertainment industry. That includes postponing the in-person auditions for America's Got Talent, which were supposed to take place yesterday in Pasadena. However, you can still join the virtual auditions on January 24th, showing off your talent from anywhere in the country. I spoke with Howie Mandel about the audition process, and forgive our upbeat tone, we recorded this before the fires broke out. Hey, Howie Mandel. Hey, thanks so much for joining the show.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate you calling. I definitely want to plug your nationwide comedy tour, later in this interview. But first, let's tease the big thing here, the auditions, the virtual auditions too, that are coming up for 20th season of America's Got Talent on NBC. And actually, we have a cool giveaway. We're giving away 3 front-of-line passes for the virtual auditions on January 24th. If you want to just shoot an email to beyondthefamepodcast@gmail.com, we'll get that ready for you guys. But yeah, Howie, so if our listeners take us up on that offer and try to get these virtual audition passes, what are you looking for this coming season? What kind of talents are you looking for?
But that's the beauty of America's Got Talent. I don't know. It's not just a singing show. It's not just a dancing show. It's everything, everybody, any age, from anywhere, just doing something. We'll decide whether it's a talent. So it doesn't have to be singing. It doesn't have to be dancing. It could be contortion. You have the ability to glue a piece of cheese to your forehead. Let us be the judge of whether it's worthy of being on the 20th season. This is going to be a banner season, and whether you can show up in person or you want to do a virtual audition, just record it and send it to agtauditions.com. And not only that, you could be like an agent or help somebody change their lives and be the next Richard Goodall, like that janitor who won last year, who's now opening for me. You could record them and send it to agtauditions.com. So if it's a family member, a coworker, a relative, a life partner, and you see them do something that nobody else has ever seen, then just do it and record it and send it in. If you don't try, nothing will ever happen.
So awesome. And you mentioned the singing janitor that won last season, Richard Goodall, won the $1 million. Talk about how blown away were you? Just reflect on that really quick, because he busted out that Journey song, Don't Stop Believing. I think he even did Journey's Faithfully later on too. But just talk about how blown away you were when you saw him walk out, maybe a little unsuspecting voice about to pop out, and then he nails Steve Perry like that. How blown away were you?
Well, that's the beauty of our show. It blows you away, and that's when people say, what are we looking for? We don't know. I would have never said a middle-aged janitor who's never been on a plane, never been out of his state, who's been, sweeping floors at an elementary school. I bet he can do like a Journey song. And then to watch him sit there with Journey and end up going live and winning $1 million is unbelievable. He's never even been on an airplane.
Yeah.
So I don't know who it is, where they come from, or what it is they do, and that's what we look for. We look for that wow factor. And that wow factor could be anybody from a Richard Goodall to a guy who once came on named Horse, who has the ability to be kicked in the nether region, and he ended up with a show on MTV. He didn't win. You don't have to win. You just have to show up, and your life is going to be changed forever. And you don't even, at this point, and while I'm talking to you right now, you don't even have to show up. You just have to go to agtauditions.com.
I love the range here. You're saying you can sing Journey or get kicked in the nether regions or glue a piece of cheese to your forehead. That is what AGT is all about, baby. It's the gamut. I love it. Well, you're the longest-serving judge at this point. I guess you've been there since 2010. Does that give you a little more clout than the other judges? Do you think the contestants, carry a little more weight when you give them feedback for that very reason?
No. I what we do and what we ultimately, America's Got Talent is based in America and based on what America loves, because ultimately the winner is chosen by America. I think that, I hope that we are somewhat constructive. We are four people who come from very different walks of life and business acumen, as far as, whether it's fashion, acting, record promoting, comedy, whatever it is. And we hope that we give you some input. And we can only tell you how we feel. I don't know if how we feel gives anybody clout. Sometimes somebody gets more positive feedback publicly because they disagree with me that I didn't like it. So it's not like I have clout. They clout me. So right. I'm just there to be authentic and be real and tell you what I think and how it's affecting me, and that's the beauty of this business. I'm doing pretty well as a stand-up comic. I'm touring. You can go see me wherever you want at HowieMandel.com. Besides with Richard, I tour with Arsenio. I'm all over the nation. But I'm aware that at any given night, even if I sell out an arena or sell out, there's tens of thousands, if not millions of people in each market that don't even care to see me and don't like what I do. So it's just an opinion. And I don't know how much clout that opinion has, if people are interested in hearing our opinion, and I know the acts are. Hopefully I help somebody or give them some insight into how it landed. But, talent is subjective. And you as a viewer and as a listener, that's why I'm saying don't overthink it now, especially at this point. So if you have anything that you can do, put it to tape right now. AGTauditions.com.
Well, AGT is giving a ton of folks their big break. I guess yours would have been, doing stand-up at the Comedy Store in L.A., or because I know you were born in Toronto, but coming down here, and then, of course, St. Elsewhere, the medical drama NBC, that was sort of your big break. But I wanted to ask you about, from my childhood, my two favorites were your voice. How'd you come up with the voice of Gizmo in Gremlins and Bobby in Bobby's World?
Well, Bobby and Gizmo are the same voice.
This is Bobby. And Tookie McGuire
was Gizmo, the same voice. So the way I came up with them is accident. It was an accident. I was choking on a piece of cake at a birthday party when I was 11 in Toronto, but then I figured everybody was laughing at the sound that was coming out of me, and then I practiced it. Don't ever try. I don't know if you have young listeners. Don't try that. But without cake, I figured out how I can close my throat. It's kind of like like when you take out the nipple of a balloon, you blow up the balloon, then you stretch it, and then you push the air out. So it's not my voice. I'm not talking in falsetto. It's just the air. I push the air out of my throat while closing it. So that's how I ended up getting the voice. It was like a terrible helium accident. And that was also Animal. I was Animal and Bunsen Honeydew, too.
On Muppet Babies. Loved it. Hey, I know we're up against the clock. You're a voice of so much of our childhood, but I saw you do your stand-up show at the Weinberg Center in Frederick, Maryland. I think somewhere along the way, I remember you saying that you were, after all those famous roles and voices and everything, that you were almost about to leave showbiz until Deal or No Deal came along in 2005, and you were there for a while. But, how much do you think that gave you another shot in the arm for the career?
Deal or No Deal was the biggest one success that I've had. I mean, nothing has been bigger than that. Nothing reinvigorated me more. It wasn't anything I wanted to do. My wife made me do it, and she was right. She's got the biggest I Told You So in the history of I Told You So's. Yes, that reinvigorated me. And even today, I'm still the producer of Deal or No Deal Island, which premieres in January again on NBC. So that's still in my life. And stand-up's in my life, and podcasting's in my life. I do a podcast every week with my daughter called Howie Mandel Does Stuff. Check it out, because it's been news breaking. Everybody from Dana White telling me to go F myself and leave to last week Billy Corrigan kind of surprised everybody and made headlines that he might be related to Bill Burr, who you should check out. Dave Farrow talking about, like everybody right now, Jay-Z is on the podcast, so check that out.
Oh, that is timely. All right. Hey, thank you so much for everything. Check out your podcast. What is it called? Howie Mandel Does Stuff?
Mandel Does Stuff. And that's on YouTube. But the most important thing is just record yourself and go to agtauditions.com.
Absolutely. And then HowieMandel.com for the live tour dates. Everybody check it out. Hey, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time.